AKAPADers, and welcome back to the channel. We're talking WildCATS, the animated series today. Finally, this has taken us a long time. If you're not familiar with WildCATS, they were positioned to take down the X-Men, to ride the coattails of maybe what was at the time the biggest comic book franchise in all the land. The toys that the X-Men sold, people always talk about the comic book, the toys sold and the toys made bank, but we need to hijack it. And we're going to hijack it with Jim Lee's WildCATS. That's right, Jim Lee, previously of, you guessed it, the X-Men. Today, on Wildstorm Wednesday, we're going to get into my favorite WildCATS animated episode. Let's go. Cheers, AKAPADers, and welcome back to the channel. We're trying some different mood lighting here, right? We're doing Christmas. We're doing green on the bottom, red in the background. And if you're new here, guys, thank you for joining me. I am Peter A. DeLuca, aka Pad69, and known throughout Philadelphia, PA, Europe, and the vast multiverse as your eclectic one. And dare I say it, we're locked in on daily drops. Locked in. ICBM missile coming in, blowing it to smithereens. We've done the work. The AKAPAD Army, my crew and I have done the work. Daily drops. Once we get into daily drops, we're going to move into hot takes. We're going to do daily hot takes. And then we're going to move into daily streams. At night, you can hang out with me. We're going to be at that drawing table, working the magic with the hand. Not that type. Well, maybe that. Maybe if you're lucky, that type of magic. So WildCATS, Maul, my favorite episode. This episode 7 of the WildCATS animated series is easily, I go between this one and the one where Grifter encounters his brother who is a Black Razor. This episode screams to me, and I love it. And I do feel like it's the best because it has little action. The characterization of Maul, as a boy, his father was an archaeologist, basically Indiana Jones. The kid finds a tablet, and he goes to, he takes it to his father, and he falls into a pit. The father saves him. The whole pit caves in. They use the archaeological dig, and then, I guess through the contact of the tablet, it activates Maul's mutant power, essentially, and he transforms from a little boy into Maul. The father's like, "You're no son of mine, get the hell out of here," and that's it. The two are estranged, and Maul ends up with WildCATS. They end up back at that site. The father, workaholic, is still working the job site, trying to uncover ancient artifacts, and the Demonites, Pike in particular, wants what the father's digging for because they can unlock the location of the orb. Thank you, Hellspawn. Hellspawn's directing all of this from he's like a pie in the sky. But we get very little action. We get deep characterization. We get a little bit of a mystery. We even get Warblade doing the finger, I'm going to open up a lock trick. We get good banter between Zealot and Grifter. This is something that's even at the time prevalent in the comics. And we kind of tease my favorite part of maybe any of the WildCATS character, where Maul he's a creature of science, but when he transforms, his intelligence drops, and that's the character gimmick. Maul, the bigger he gets, the less intelligent he is. Now, the animated series has a little bit of a spin on that. He doesn't transform back down. Maul is kind of always a big Hulk-like dude. Later, we would get that, almost like a Bruce Banner, Incredible Hulk type symmetry there, where Bruce Banner would be one and the Hulk would be the other. It took the WildCATS comic book a little bit of time to catch up to that idea with Maul, but I absolutely love it. And even at the end, we get this cool team shot, and Warblade is just sitting there with blood red eyes. I don't know why. The animated blood red eye Warblade just effing works. But yeah, this is a... People want to say, again, we make this point a lot on this channel. We make it a lot on Wildstorm Wednesday. When we actually look at this material, we see characterization, we see plot, we see an expansion of the things that we know. It's not just action, it's not just ripping off the X-Men. The WildCATs animated cartoon was positioned to go head-to-head with the X-Men, right down to the melodrama. And I will say the melodrama for this episode is as good as anything you saw in X-Men 97 back in the day. Not the newer Disney Plus kind of remake. I'm not really sure what Disney Plus is doing with theirs. And yes, people, I'm a grown adult. Sometimes I will watch a cartoon. But if I were to watch any of them from the WildCATs animated series, it will be episode 7. It's got to be episode 7. Come on, what else do we got? Well, we do have the one I referenced earlier. But just be on the lookout. We're going to be doing more of these types of episodes. I wanted to do a tier list, the 13 episodes top down for all of you, for some of you who are interested in the WildCATs animated show. And this episode, now keep in mind, we buddy some of these Wildstorm Wednesday episodes with Top Cow Tuesday episodes, because we're trying to tell the story of Homage Studios, early Image Comics, Jim Lee and Mark Silvestri. The previous episode that ran into this, that's what she said, was the hubris of Mark Silvestri's Cyberforce animated series getting bought out. The studio got bought out by Sam Hamm, the guy behind the American version of the Power Rangers, and they dumped anything that wasn't Marvel that they were working on, and that was it. But the WildCATs went head-to-head with X-Men. Cyberforce was being positioned post-X-Men as a Fox Kids Image Hour. And you kind of want to say, if WildCATs was successful, we would have had maybe at one time 3 or 4 children's Saturday morning Image comic book cartoons battling it out and slinging those toys from the toy shelves. So I don't know, AKAPAD, good footnote. WildCATs did win at the end versus Cyberforce. WildCATs even now resonates and carries on a little bit more, I would say, clearly more than Cyberforce did. Even the eBay sales for one action figure line versus the other action figure line, WildCATs wins, and WildCATs gets the double win because they had the SNES video game, right? They had the video game, so that's the big split. Either way, guys, check out these episodes. I know a lot of them are available for free on YouTube. Who the hell cares? Just watch them. But if you can buy digital, it's only a few dollars. You gotta give money back into those who own the rights to some of these series and shows, because we want to incentivize them to release more stuff for us to own legally. Guys, I'm all for owning things legally. Anyway, AKAPAD here, Wildstorm Wednesday. I love you guys. Rock and roll.